Okay, if you're watching this show live right now, I don't know what channel you're watching it on. Channel 24, 41, channel 714? There are a lot of cable channels out there. If you have a big deal cable package, I understand you probably have about 1,000 channels. Thank you for choosing this one. But the number of channels on your TV doesn't even begin to compare, of course, to the number of websites on your internets, which is more or less infinity. And right now, all you need is an internet connection and an infinite amount of time, and theoretically, you could see them all. But your endless web browsing capabilities, that potential, that infinite potential, could be in danger if a new bill proposed by 2008 presidential runner-up John Mccain ever passes. Senator Mccain wants to block the government, the FCC, from making rules to keep the entire internet accessible to everyone. Telecom companies want to be able to slow down access to some parts of the internet and to block some others. Essentially, they want the right to privilege the content that they want to privilege for their own telecom corporate purposes. The government says the internet should be free. Big companies should not be able to rig the internet for their own purposes. John McCain's bill says that they should. That's the same Senator McCain who back in 2008, when asked if he preferred a Mac or a PC, said this.
Neither. I am a illiterate that has to rely on my wife for all of the assistance that I can get.
Despite his self-confessed computer illiteracy, a report out this week from the Sunlight Foundation and the Center for Responsive Politics lists Senator McCain as the single largest congressional recipient of campaign contributions from the telecom industry from January 2007 through June of this year. Joining us now is Jenny Jardin. She's editor and partner at the blog boingboing.net and our official guest / non-resident expert on regulation of the internet. Jenny, thanks very much for being here.
Thank you, Rachel.
Net neutrality is one of the most boring phrases ever uttered in modern-day America. Despite being boring sounding, it is important and really concrete. Can you explain to us what it is?
You know, the funny thing about net neutrality is nobody cares how the internet works. We just want to know that it works, kind of like picking up the phone to call your mom. The idea behind net neutrality is that we should all have equal access to whatever website, whatever funny video, whatever animated GIF of a kitten dancing. It doesn't matter what the content is. No cable companies, no telecom should be able to slow that down because what you want access to is against their competitive interest. So one example of that might be Time Warner. Time Warner is a cable company that provides broadband internet services here in L.A. If I want to watch a Rachel Maddow clip, a Daily Show clip, and a clip from CNN, Time Warner shouldn't be able to slow down the Maddow clip and the Daily Show clip and make the CNN clip go faster because they have a commercial interest in CNN. The idea is, it's kind of that all packets are created equal.
When the FCC proposes that they are in favor of net neutrality, and this is the thing that's made John McCain so upset, I worry about the government being technologically capable of doing that. Is there a way to keep the internet neutral and to prevent the telecoms from doing that, or will they work around whatever the government tries to do anyway?
Well, look, telecoms, internet service providers, they already have a kind of monopoly. The idea here is to prevent them from abusing that monopoly. That's what the FCC does. I mean, look, this act, the Internet Freedom Act, they want freedom, all right. It's like they want to find new ways to be able to charge us more money. If the internet, as it was in 1995 with CompuServe, with AOL, with these walled gardens where you can't necessarily get to everything as fast as you'd like. If that's what you want, this will bring it to you.
Senator McCain's bill, as you mentioned, is actually called the Internet Freedom Act of 2009, and he's deriding the government effort to keep telecoms from walling off the internet as government intrusion in trying to regulate the internet. And all that means is that he's picked better branding, he's picked better names. It doesn't relate to the facts of what he's doing, but I'm wondering if it's too late for a rebranding of the other side here, if we just need to get better at talking about this, because the language seems sort of corrupt at this point.
You know, I'd say, too, whenever there's a fight on the internet, it's always good to side with the geeks who actually built the internet rather than sort of fat cat telecom lobbyists. You have guys like Vint Cerf, who was one of the original designers of how the internet would work. He's coming out saying that this is a dangerous thing, that net neutrality is a positive way to protect access, to protect freedom. The internet, it really is a basic right. It's a basic necessity. Such a fundamental way for communicating and for accessing information now. Telecoms shouldn't be able to throttle, to slow down, or to block our access to something that might not be in their corporate interest.
As Senator McCain tries to put himself at the leadership of this, sponsoring this bill, despite the obvious political liability of being the single biggest recipient of all these telecom donations, his personality and his reputation may be really intertwined with the hopes of his bill for passing. Senator McCain is very active on the Twitter. I wonder if by doing that, despite his professed computer illiteracy, he's actually earned himself any sort of online street cred at all.
You know, it just, God, where do you begin? The guy who says that he doesn't even use email telling us how to craft the internet. Look, I don't think he's the right guy to go to for guidance on this. I'm siding with the geeks on this one, Rachel.
I always side with the geeks. That's generally a rule around here. Jenny Jardin, editor and partner at boingboing.net. Thanks very much for joining us tonight.
Thank you, Rachel.